Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today. Introducing the new Audible original Breakthrough.
The genre-redefining audio-only series that strips away the superficial to reaffirm what matters most, pure talent.
Featuring celebrity judges Kelly Rowland, Sarah Bareilles, and host David Diggs.
Hear every step of the musical journey as 5 undiscovered musicians battle through a series of high-stakes singing and songwriting challenges for one top spot.
As musically gifted as they are artistically unique, each finalist is driven by the same dream, to become music's next must-listen.
But to break through, they'll have to dig deep, pushing their vocal, songwriting, and recording chops to their absolute limits while keeping their feet and emotions firmly grounded.
So, who will break through? It's time to find out.
Join Kelly, Sarah, and David on a musical journey unlike anything you've ever seen.
This is Breakthrough.
Listen on Audible or wherever you get your podcasts.
Go to audible.com/breakthrough.
Follow along using hashtag BreakthroughXAudible. I'm going to say something scandalous, Ronnie.
Go on.
Plants are meat. And not only are they meat, they're delicious, especially if they're from Impossible Foods.
They taste like beef.
Exactly. Impossible is making meat history this summer.
Yeah, they are. Summer of Impossible.
I am so excited to be spending time cooking my summer foods, all that good stuff. And guess what? We can use Impossible sausages, Impossible brats. I mean, it's going to be a great summer for Impossible Foods.
Impossible beef is made from plants and 19 grams of protein per serving, and it's better for the planet.
And it's meat.
Plant meat, correct. So if you're looking for something to grab for your grill, grab some Impossible beef.
Summer of Impossible.
Start making meat history today. Just head over to the meat aisle at your local grocery store, grab some Impossible beef or patties, and get grilling.
Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens, crappens, crappens. Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch Our Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, dancing to our little pre-show theme song that we have on Crappens on Demand. Joining me is the one and only Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi. I'll tell you how I am. Born to dance.
I'm here to win. I'm bringing out Cleopatra for this episode, okay?
Yeah. My mother never thought I could do it, but here I am, dancing anyway.
Every time I podcast, I just hear my father's voice that says, if you don't win, don't come home. So here we are. It's a Dancing Queens finale episode. It's very exciting. It's so exciting I put up a disco ball on Crappens on Demand. I'm going to take it down soon, but enjoy it for right now. Isn't this so wait, hold on. Here it is. I'm trying to present it. There it is. Speaking of Crappens on Demand, come watch it. Come watch it.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe on YouTube, okay? A real winner would like and subscribe. Would watch it. These videos all are on YouTube, but before they go on YouTube, they have a pit stop over at Crappens on Demand, where people who support on Crappens on Demand on Patreon, patreon.com/watchforcrappens, get first looks at the video. They get it for a week before it goes onto YouTube. So if you want early access and you want to see this stuff as it goes right up on the air, then go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens and you get to see things like a little disco ball between me and Ronnie right now.
Very exciting stuff. So that's been really fun and fun. We hope you're all having fun on the break. Now, Dancing Queens is a show. Man, I wish we had recapped the whole show because it was so good, but there is just too much going on to recap it. There's literally too much stuff. And I think 20 of you were watching this because I looked at the ratings and I think it was like in the 200,000s, which, God damn it. You know, I feel like partly it's our responsibility to be like, guys, watch this show. But then the other side of me was like, can't quit Atlanta, can't quit Summer House, can't quit Summer House, can't quit Below Deck, can't quit Below Deck, can't quit.
Well, there's
like too many things we couldn't quit.
There are so many high-profile shows. And I feel like when it came out, there were two newbies. It was Dancing Queens and Summer House Martha's Vineyard. And honestly, like, Summer House Martha's Vineyard was both like great, and it also, I think we both got this feeling like this is going to be a show that's going to be with us for a few seasons. So it was tough because we want to support the new shows, we want to support the new young shows. I think that it just got lost in the fray. I think that maybe Bravo was thinking, if we have Dancing Queens on right now, maybe it'll get a boost from all these other shows. But I think it actually just, it got trampled. There was so much going on with Scandival, with New Jersey, just everything was going on. And I think this is a show that should have maybe come on alongside Roni this summer instead.
Well, we did do the first recap. So this is our bookend recap to end the season, to celebrate it, because it does deserve some celebration. Now, our first recap was on the Patreon feed, which is our bonuses, all our bonus episodes. We did re-release that today. It's before this one. So go listen to that if you haven't already. And if you want more of those, just be a member of Patreon, because that's where we do a lot of extra episodes over there.
And we did have an episode where we kind of sort of top level talked about another episode of Dancing Queens, but it was not as in depth as a proper recap. But it's a shame.
So let's go ahead and start. So previously this season on Dance Queens, and we get kind of one little line from all the ladies, kind of their taglines from the season, because it's not Housewives, they don't have taglines, but they get previously taglines, which I like. They have previously this season, and we cut to Leonie with a Cleopatra haircut, and she says, my dad would say, don't talk to me unless you're first. And this cast is very big on leaning into childhood traumas.
Yes.
Like, they're all still mad at their mothers, they're all still fucking resentful of their fathers, and you go for it. But we just did an Orange County recap today, which aired last week for you guys, but where we were like, we need fresh trauma. And I will say that is something that this show suffers from. Every episode, the ladies are not together as much on this show. They only see each other at these dance competitions. Otherwise, they all live in different states. So they have a lot of alone time. And since they have a lot of airtime to fill, they're literally the same trauma over and over. It's like, my parents loved a winner. I was like, well, I've heard of worse things. Like, honestly, I've heard of worse things, Like, it sounded like a terrible trauma at the beginning, but it's episode 8, and you've not shut the fuck up about how your parents wanted you to win. Okay? Shut up. Shut up. Get a fresh trauma. Sorry to repeat it 2 recaps in a row, but I need fresh trauma now. Okay?
Yeah, Leonie literally says every episode, or they roll this clip of her saying, my dad said, don't talk to me unless you're first. And every time she does something, she goes to Starbucks and she goes, as I order that venti frappuccino, I think, is it good enough for my father? I hear his voice in my head saying, do it better, do it harder, win that venti frappuccino. I'm like, okay, I get it. Your dad was overbearing. Got it.
Yeah. My daughter has take your mother to work day, and I just think, what if I'm not good enough for those children the same way I wasn't good enough for my father?
I know, it's like literally everything. I want to show my daughter she doesn't have to be perfect. So therefore, when she makes her little slime on the floor, I say, that's beautiful slime, even though it's bad slime.
Meanwhile, Leonie, listen, I'm not going to take away anybody's traumatic past or whatever. Oh, and I'm not saying it's not true, but I am saying she does have a lot of faux humility. She does show a lot of like, oh, I'm just so insecure. And then she walks in and wins the whole thing. Or she's like, oh my God, I'm just so insecure, but my idol is Cleopatra. And I model everything I do after Cleopatra. My hair, my costumes, everything about me. I'm like, lady, that's not an insecure person. You know what I mean?
It's also not someone who really, like, she didn't really, like, you know what happened to Cleopatra, right? I just want to say. But I also like how Leonie's,
I don't actually. What did happen to Cleopatra?
Well, she got killed by an asp, but she was young. Like,
an
she
asp?
and Mark Antony, like a snake. She got poisoned, but it was part of a larger scheme, if I remember correctly. The point is, she didn't live to old age. She was great, but she also was not like, they took her down.
Yeah, there's a reason that people aren't like, oh my God, my goal is to be like James Dean. James Dean went over the side of a fucking cliff when he was in his 20s, okay? Like, let's not idolize people that died too young.
Also,
just because you like their haircut. I think she only really idolizes Cleopatra because she loves the girl's hair, because Leonie is not getting rid of that haircut anytime soon. She has found a haircut that works for her, and she's going to keep it for the rest of her fucking life. And you know what? You're right. It does work for you. And it really works for dancing because it just like slaps around. Mm-hmm.
It's like a Tina Turner dress, but on her head. And the thing is that, like, she, I was going to talk about her hair because it's so funny that she's like, I want to show my daughter that, like, life is full of imperfections and you don't have to be perfect. I'm like, you have the most precision-based hairstyle right now. Like, your hair is like, it has to be like absolutely perfect. Otherwise it looks ridiculous.
It is the perfect length bob. It's the same exact. It never grows. It never gets cut. Like, it looks the same literally every moment she's on screen from the beginning to the end. So then we move on to Pooja. Now, Pooja came on a little bit later. I think my opinion was that they were kind of cobbling this cast together as they went.
Yes.
They were like, we need more people. Let's add Pooja and Sabina not Sabina, Gael
Sabrina.
later. And Leonie was shooting, but not with the other women for half the season. So we weren't really sure what was going on. So anyway, we get Pooja. Pooja is next up. She's like, her storyline was, I want to make my mom proud, but there are just moments where I feel like, am I enough? Because again, the show is about leaning into your parents not being good enough for your parents, which I think is really funny because parents generally enroll kids in dance class in the first place. So it's a funny thing to be acting out in your life later on to try and get their approval. Like, you just never got their approval from dance class and you never let it go.
Yeah. I mean, Pooja's whole thing is that, like, her mom and her sisters all do Latin dancing, but she does like American rhythm. So she's already been like the black sheep of the family for doing like different kind of dance. And now she's like trying to be in with the rest of her family. And she's, she's like, am I good enough? And it's like, the answer is no, you're not. Like, you can see it all over your mom's face. Your mom is mortified. She's like, you stay out of our dancing. You're like,
get the fuck out of our dance.
We worked hard to be like the family that's good at Latin dancing. She's like the third Manning brother. Like, there's Peyton, there's Eli, and then there's that other brother who doesn't like play football very well.
Tim.
It'd be like, Tim Manning. Like, if Tim Manning was like, hey, I want to play football now, and the Manning brothers like, no, you do go back to working at like Amerihome or wherever you work,
But also what goes unsaid in this is that she was already, well, it doesn't go unsaid that she was already a winner at American Rhythm, because that is said. But the only reason she switched to this style of dancing is to be on this TV show, obviously, right? Because she only did it for this season to be on a TV show. So she's thinking she can come in, start doing their kind of dance, since that's the kind of dance that's everyone's competing in this year. And she does, and then immediately, spoiler alert, when the show's over, she goes back to American Rhythm. So you can make this about how your mother does not love you. Your mother and your sister both hate you. That's clear. I've seen the footage. But now you can say to both of them, fuck you, I win first place all the time in my dance. You're both third and fourth. You suck. Also, I'm on a national TV show as a star at the moment, and neither of you bags of bones are. So get the fuck out of here and go feel insecure about yourself, you fucking losers.
Yeah. So.
Oh, also her plot. We can get to her plot when we get to Colette.
Say it.
Well, her other plot was her mom and sister share the same dance pro for Latin, and so she wanted to use their dance pro for Latin, but unfortunately, that dance pro was assigned to Colette for Latin, and so he had to dump this lady named Colette, and Colette's whole season was having a breakdown that she lost her partner to this lady.
Colette, I felt bad for Colette in the beginning of the season, but by the end of this episode, when we see that like several of them have moved on from their partners, I'm like, you know what? People get dumped and people leave their partners all the time. You have to get over it. And I honestly, at first I was like, oh, fuck Christian for doing that to Colette. But then I'm like, he is going to choose Colette over an entire family of income that he gets. That's like 4 clients. And that mom was like, if you do not take my daughter, you lose all of us. So enjoy that. So of course he's going to follow the money.
Yeah, he followed the money like a
the money.
detective. He followed the money, okay? And he did a good job, I mean, pretty much, I think, with everybody. But Colette we'll get to. So next up is Donnie. So Donnie, I really like. Donnie's dad died. And when her dad died, she gained a lot of weight. And so she feels like that's holding her back in dance because people judge Latin. Latin's a very sexy dance, and she feels like she's being judged on her weight instead of how she dances, and that she should be winning despite her weight. And she even has a pillow stitched in her home that says, "Nothing tastes as good as thin feels." And I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I got so mad when I saw that because I love Donnie. And Donnie's my kind of girl because she'll sit down and be like, "I'm so fat and no one loves me because of my weight." And then she orders a pizza while she talks about it. I mean, I love her. And then I love that she says, "I'm going to change my whole look for this." But then her look gets worse and worse because she gets uglier and uglier dresses. And then she just, she changes her Susan Powder hair into like shorter Susan Powder hair. I'm not really sure.
It looked
but
the same. It was like, it felt like it was going from like Robin in 2011 to Robin in 2012. She's like, "I'm a whole new person." So so she's like she's kind of spiraling over the course of the season to the point where she's like, a guy from Dancing with the Stars comes in and is like trying to give her a pep talk. She's like, "I've never failed at something. The first thing. I've never not been super good." She's like ugly crying in front of him. He's like, "Okay." And then we go to Colette.
Well, it's like, I feel like when people hire hookers, they're not always hiring a hooker to have sex. A lot of times they just want to talk to the hooker. And I feel like that's what she's doing with Val. Because these pros are basically human trafficked hookers. Can we just also say that while we're here? Because a lot of them, I feel like they're just brought here. They're paid a lot of money to escort these women around of varying ages, generally older, at least on this show. And they're kind of their surrogate boyfriends or husbands. They've got a weird thing. I don't know that they're all fucking, but I think some of them might be. Sabrina. And there's definitely Colette. Colette has a very weird thing with her, a weird connection and the way she got dumped, and she has a real weird connection with her new coach. So I felt like this was like Donnie crying to her male hooker. She gets Val, who's this fucking gorgeous piece of ass, and she just sees him and immediately starts crying, and then she just leaves and drops a 20 on the ground. I mean, I just thought it was so sweet.
Yeah. And then you just mentioned Sabrina, and her whole thing is Sabrina is like, she wins. She's always winning. She's really good. She lives in Toronto. She has a husband named Ronnie, and she's always leaving Passover to go dancing. I feel like all season long it was like, guess what? I have to leave Passover again. Sorry. It's like, how long is this Passover going on for? This is like the 6-month Passover. I'm going to have to miss Passover, Ronnie. I'm sorry, but dancing is my life. I have to win.
She just keeps choosing everything. She keeps choosing dance over everything in her life because these competitions are literally, I mean, anyone who has a kid in any kind of competition sport knows what it's like to have to travel, 2 weekends out of the month. You're always spending all your money on traveling and doing, but it's like that, but your mom is doing it for herself. And Sabrina's been told by her own mother or her own sisters, they're like, "No one does more for themselves than you do as a mother. This isn't right. You should be doing..." Fuck that. My mother left us at home with a cleaning lady and went and lived her damn life. And I say good for her. I was raised by a cleaning lady and an empty box of Franzia. I was reading my lessons from the ingredients list. Look at me. I turned out great.
So then we're seeing more of them talking throughout the season, and Donnie is like, "This isn't who is the best dancer. I dance as well or better as some of the women who beat me. There is a tradition of a Latin look." She's just basically doing the same thing. She's like crying because she's gained weight and she doesn't have a long black braid. Or a black beard.
By the way, we literally just did the entire season because all of those issues we just said are every episode. It's
every
like,
episode.
My mom and my sister both do this better than me. I'm not over my pro leaving me for Pooja. I just feel like people are judging me on my weight. My date's not going to love me if I don't win. And then they're like, "Okay, now do it in Tennessee." They're like, all right,
Yep,
here we
this
go
is
again.
Totally true, because I'm just looking at the rest of these previously, and it's literally everything we've just said. So the only two pieces of information that are new is Ronnie has told Sabrina that if she doesn't win, then she has to quit dancing. Which is like, oh, no pressure.
Hilarious.
And then
no pressure. And also, she's quitting you before she quits dancing, fucker. And don't think for 1 second she's not leaving your ass before she leaves dance.
Yes. And the other big thing is Millennium is the big giant competition that we're supposed to care about the most. They're like, well, it's time for a season finale, so let's make this one the one that matters the most. We're like, okay, sure. So Millennium is the big thing. It's in Dallas. This is the final dance competition of the series. Although I kind of feel like these dance competitions are just like every weekend, across the country. But they said this is the big one. This is the one that matters the most, and everyone's excited. Everyone's amped up.
Well, this one is definitely the biggest one we've seen because I feel like this show's mostly made up. I feel like they're really dancers, but that to make this show, they couldn't just film the whole competitions because some of them, it's like, okay, it's only you six in this whole competition. Like, how does this work? So you do have to kind of suspend your disbelief. Well, now we see Lindsay in this one. They add a couple extras and they describe them as being very important. Yeah. So we know.
Yeah, this woman named Lindsay, who's not a cast member, nor does she talk to them ever, but she sort of like floats in from time to time, like, there's Lindsay. She won Tri-State. They're like, oh my God, the stakes are higher than ever. This is the biggest competition, and Lindsay's here.
And Lindsay's one of those people that's always a threat because also, first of all, you're in Dallas. Okay, you know what's in Dallas? Blonde, thin ladies with big hair. And that's what Lindsay is. So I think when people see her come in, they're like, oh my God, Lindsay's automatically going to win this. We're in Texas. We're in Dallas specifically. She's totally taking this. And Lindsay also does not, she's one of those like blonde ladies. And by the way, no offense to blonde ladies, but even blonde ladies know what I mean. There's like a certain kind of blonde lady who's just like, fuck you, or like she'll bully you. Like she don't care. She's like the most terrifying kind of blonde lady. Yeah. I feel like that's how Lindsay is because Lindsay has this big long ponytail, and every time she whips her head around, she hits her partner in the eye with it and doesn't even care. Yeah, that's who Lindsay is. I need more of Lindsay.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
New beginnings are in season on the Max original series, and just like that.
From executive producer Michael Patrick King, alongside stars and executive producers Sarah Jessica Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis, the exciting next chapter of Sex and the City follows Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte as they navigate the complicated reality of life, love, and friendship in their 50s.
Alongside Naya, Che, Seema, and LTW, this vibrant group of friends experiences the ups and downs of life, knowing they can always count on each other.
Watch the brand new 11-episode season of And Just Like That, streaming only on Max.
And listen to the official podcast hosted by executive producer, writer, and director Michael Patrick King after every episode.
Find And Just Like That, The Writer's Room, wherever you get your podcasts.
So we know Millennium is the biggest dance competition because Lindsay's there. And on top of that, there's like 45 people sitting in the seats surrounding the ballroom floor as opposed to the typical 20 people because there's always so many empty chairs. Like they're like, this is the biggest dance competition in all of America, and it has a pretty strong 33% attendance rate. It's like no one is there ever watching these competitions.
And they're like, Leonie, you're the lead this year because we love Cleopatra. Who doesn't, right? So Leonie, you say the line that everybody else has been fighting over. She's like, all right, are we ready? Millennium is the Super Bowl of dance. It's like, okay, all right.
And then Donnie is like, it's one of the most over-the-top competitions you could ever go to. Okay, Lindsay's there. Okay, need I say more?
Everyone needs to bring their A game. There's no A in Lindsay. And Sabrina's like, I'm ready to win. So then we cut to glitter dresses. Okay. So Leonie is in her white Cleopatra dress that we're finally seeing. I love that she was so literal because we saw an earlier scene a few episodes ago with Leonie. I think we talked about this at some other time with Leonie and her gay. And she's like, Cleopatra is what I model everything after. And it was a literal picture of a Cleopatra costume with like the gold thing around her neck and the hair and the white dress. She literally had that made for Millennium.
Yeah. Also,
Very
by the way,
literal.
Cleopatra is like one of the most famous box office bombs of all time. So again, maybe not the best inspiration. So she's like, 6 months ago, I never thought I'd be ready for a competition like this. But the only person who can beat me today is... Wait for it. Myself. There's no room for self-doubt. She sort of speaks in cliches, like the entire time. Like everything she says, you just sort of know where her sentence is going.
She does it. She just does it with so much confidence that everything she says is like, fierce. Oh my God, you're so fierce. She'll be like, 2 birds in a bush are worse than 1 bird in your hand. And you're like, yes, Leonie, yes, girl.
Which is funny because that's actually the exact opposite of what it should be. She's like, I like to speculate.
And I messed it up. Yeah, I totally messed it up. Sorry.
Okay. The amount of metaphors I mess up on a regular basis on this podcast. Hello.
But listen, I did it with confidence, and that's the thing. 6 months ago, I would never have believed in myself, and now I've realized the only person that can fuck up a metaphor is me.
So meanwhile, Donnie says, I've reset my focus and, a weight has been lifted off my shoulders and I just want to have fun. So watch out. The old Donnie's back. My blonde bangs are no longer to the left. They're now to the right.
Well, her confidence has come back because Val, fucked her with his eyes. I mean, my God, I had to take a bath after that one. I was like, good Lord, that man's sexy. But he was like, you know what I want to see? You. He's not French at all. But he's like, you know what I want to see? You having fun out there. And she's like, oh my God, I'm going to have fun again. So it's like changed her life. Like, have fun. You're paying to do that. You're paying $100,000 a year to do this. Have fun with it. So then we go to Colette, who's posing fiercely on an elevator in the Marriott.
The Marriott Marquis lobby, and then someone comes up to her and goes, I love doing strangers with candy. She's like, I am not Amy Sedaris.
She literally is played by Amy Sedaris. And I love how they try to make these glamorous shots in every episode. It's like, all right, Leonie, walk through the room in your Cleopatra dress. And she's like, dun, 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 past the camera. And they get to Colette, and they're like, Colette, strike a pose. And she's like...
And she's like right by the Snicker bars that they sell in the lobby.
You see the buy one get one peanut M&Ms on her way up.
Someone's like, "Now, can I charge this to my room?" She's like, "Yes." So
she's like, I've started this season not in a great place emotionally, but since I've placed above people who are very good, I am coming into this confident as ever.
Yeah, you really seem like it. And then Pooja now says, switching to Latin has been tough, but I'm going out there today to prove to my mom and my sister that I can do it. You can't do it. I'm sorry, Mother. I can't do
God, Mom, never going to be good enough. She has worn a dress that looks like it's made out of red hair. I don't really understand.
She's like,
it looks, it's like a flapper
drapey
dress, but yeah, to me, it looked like hair. It looked too much like hair.
Yeah.
So has anyone done that? Made a dress out of hair, actual hair?
I'm sure there's been a hair dress. So Sabrina is like, I really need to win Millennium, and to do that, I need to beat Leonie, and to do that, I need to not fight with Stas. Because she's always fighting with Stas. And 48 hours earlier, though. Oh, well, now we go to 48 hours earlier. Because the question is, can Sabrina and Stas not fight for one episode of this show? So now it's 48 hours leading up to the big competition, and we see Colette having breakfast with her pro, who's eating 5 different plates of food at the airport
because he's not paying. Okay, Colette's new pro, because she's the one who got dumped because he left her for Pooja. So she's got this new guy, Alex. This guy isn't that her name?
I thought you said puta, and I was like,
no, Pooja. In El Paso, there would be a puta. She'd be like, you know what? My name is Penelope, but everybody calls me puta. Okay?
My mistake. I apologize. I heard that wrong.
I have a speech impediment. No, Pooja. So we're on Colette cam, and she's with Alex, her new pro, who is literally, if I'm comparing all these guys to like hookers, she just like literally went and found this guy downtown, put him in the car, and was like, you'll do, okay? This guy is horrible. Like the first time he's like, I'm going to strip club, and then this time he literally orders 10 things off the menu because he doesn't have to pay. Come on, Alex. This is why you're getting fired after this season. I guarantee it, Alex.
Seriously. So Sabrina, then we cut to Sabrina and Stas getting along at the airport, and she's like, we are friends. We are getting along. We are excited. Yeah, everything's great. We're very happy. We're happy. We are two people, and he is someone who is not annoyed at me right now, not whatsoever. And he's like, yes, very happy. I'm so happy right now.
They have like a super weird emotionally abusive relationship where at first it's like, are they fucking? Like everybody on the show has said, are they fucking? Because they're too intense together. He's not one of like the hot whores. He's like kind of like an almost put out to pasture. He's about to start running the male bordello. You know what I mean? He's
he sort of
almost
feels
in
like a
that
legacy whore. It's like he was probably like, maybe he was one of the hot whores like about 20 years ago, but now it's legacy. He's legacy. He's legacy whore.
And right now he's doing things like wearing steampunk glasses and like slicking his hair the wrong way, and it's just awkward, you know. But Sabrina still wants to do him, so that's all that counts.
Yeah, and then Donnie's on a plane, location indeterminate, and her mom is just like jamming out to gay pride classics that are playing from the seat, like. She's not listening to music on her own device. When you wonder like, why do they still have music? It's nice that they still have music on.
Who listens to that? I was just thinking that the other day. Who listens to that?
Who listens to music anymore? I remember I used to, when you didn't have any other option. You just plug in and be like, well, I guess this is what I'm listening to. I was like, it's Rita. Rita is listening to the music selection on the airplanes.
So she's like dancing in her seat to like I'm coming out, and then we go to Dallas. Dun dun dun. So Pooja's with her son, and they're hugging, and then Gael I love.
Gael's my favorite.
Russian, right? She's so
I think she's
funny.
French or Dutch actually.
She's hilarious.
She's
she
the best.
Hates Sabrina, okay? And she is constantly coming for Sabrina. And she's so mean to her. And listen, Sabrina's a lot. She's like a big personality who's purposely being obnoxious for TV or whatever. But this lady does not take it. And she like actually hurts Sabrina's feelings all the time on purpose. And it's the funniest thing to watch. I love it.
Yeah, I think that if this show does manage to get a second season, I think that they really do need to have more Gael, because she does bring some of that, like some of the viciousness, I'll be honest, that I really would like to see. I love how snooty she is, and I love how she's just so condescending to Sabrina at all times. So I was really happy to see her.
Her partner's also a good gorgeous. I mean, he really is so cute. His name is Nino, and they're checking into the hotel, and this is how hot she is. Okay, they have adjoining rooms, her and Nino, right? And the lady who's working at the hotel goes, well, she goes, is this quiet room? And she goes, well, it's supposed to be quiet, but you are next door to this guy, so he might be a little noisy. Am I right, Tiger? Enjoy that room.
Also, Gael has like the best name. Her name is Gael Benetret. Oh, actually, no, on Instagram though, it's like some hyphenate. I'm sorry, I should have had all my ducks in a row before I started mentioning this. The point is, I love her name, I love her attitude, and I just want more Gael on this show.
Gael for life. So then Colleen is hanging on her pro at check-in. It's like kind of sad. And then she's like, oh my God, he ate 5 meals today, guys. It was intense. So then we go to Pooja and Donnie meeting at a restaurant. Gael, all the girls are going to meet up, right? This restaurant. And when Sabrina comes, the music's like, meow. Because Sabrina's the villain of the show.
Also, it's hilarious seeing a new show on Bravo that doesn't have a budget and that Bravo doesn't care about. Because if it were the Real Housewives, they would have a back room and a long table and lots of chairs and beautiful like, you know, arrangements. Here they like have like 3 little circle high tops that they have to jammed together, and, and there's like nothing on them, and they're sitting like in the bar area of the restaurant, and you could just see like
They
no,
don't
we're
have
not
permission
gonna,
to
we're not
film
gonna,
there.
Yeah, we're not going to pay for the back room. No,
Yeah,
you
they
have
don't. They don't
take
have
some high
permission
tops.
to film there. You know, they're doing that. This whole thing is guerrilla style, where they're like, "Let's just shoot and see if anybody asks us for a license."
Yes.
You know.
So Donnie and Pooja and Gael are at dinner, and then Sabrina and Colette join. Everyone's sort of joining, and so Colette comes in sort of later. Well, not later, but she's at the last of the group, and she comes in and greets Pooja, and Pooja goes in to sort of like kiss her on the cheek, and basically Colette just sort of like turns away and sort of kisses the air instead. And so Donnie is like, I greet my gynecologist with more warmth than Pooja and Colette.
And they hate Sabrina, so everything they do, they try and make it sound like Sabrina's being really mean. But really, all Sabrina does is she's like, "Oh my God, hi girls, it's so hot in here. Oh, you don't even want to know where I'm schwitzing." And she goes, "I'm gonna have a mojito. What are you gonna have?" And the lady's like, "I'll have an espresso martini." She goes, "Oh my God, that looks good too. So I'm gonna have a mojito, but then I'll do the espresso martini."
Yeah, she's
and
like, I'll taste your
Colette,
espresso martini.
Colette goes, "Oh, that is very Sabrina. I want what you have." Yep, sounds like her. I was like, "Oh my God."
Listen, Sabrina's not my favorite, but this is not an indictment on her personality, okay? She just wants to
What does
taste it.
Sabrina do? Leave her alone. I think she was being supportive by being like, "Oh my God, what a good choice. I want to have that next to support your choice in drinks."
It's like also one of the most common things you do with people at a bar. Like, "Ooh, how's your cocktail? Can I try it so I know if I want to get it next?" It's like literally so normal. And Gled is like, wow, she wants to steal my cocktail. How? She has no morals. So
Sabrina's like, "Okay, to Texas, everybody, to Texas." So there's a fly in the espresso martini, and it's Colette's drink, right? So she's like, "Oh my God, there's a fly in here. I'm gonna take the fly out and take it outside." And Sabrina's like, "Oh my God, let him live. Let him just have his drink. He just wants to have a drink." And so Colette takes the fly out and puts it out on the curb.
a very drunk and caffeinated fly.
Yeah.
Good luck, other flies.
Donnie's like, "There's a saying, I wouldn't harm a fly," and I thought it was just a saying, but Colette really won't harm a fly.
Yeah. So Sabrina's like, "Well, I'm so happy that we did this. This is nice. This is really nice." And Gael is like, well, it's passion that we have. We have to enjoy the maximum that we can, because it's always good to have good relationships with your pro. It's really important that you and your pro get along and don't fight. And Donnie's like, "Well, I know. I've never had a fight with my pro." And Gael's like, "Yes, opposite of this one over here." And Sabrina's like, "Oh, sweet. Very sweet of you."
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I would be so ashamed if I was fighting with pro like Sabrina fights with pro. The way you fight with him, that's crazy." It's like most pros, you say dance and you say fight. Oh, yes, I would like to order this taco and the fight for that one over there with her pro, please, because that's all she'll do is fight with her pro, right? Like whenever she starts coming for Sabrina, she just keeps going and going and going and going.
But they all love it, right? Because no one else is willing to do it. They all
so
love.
funny.
They all love that she's doing it to Sabrina.
And it doesn't really bug Sabrina anyway. She's like,
Oh, stop. Don't try and make me look bad, guys.
and she's like, "Oh, you do. Oh, let me ask questions. Pooja, do you fight with your partner? No, you don't. Oh, let me ask you, Colette. Do you fight with your partner? No, Colette, you don't either. Waiter, do you fight with your partner?
Hey, where's that
Okay,
fly?
the busboy is your partner. Do you fight with busboy? No, not even the waiter fights with busboy.
Does that fly fight with his partner? No, the fly doesn't even fight with the partner. No, that's amazing.
You're our only partner fighter.
Yeah. So then Donnie, she's like, I noticed that Missy and Lindsay are going to be at the competition, and Lindsay, she brings this up because Lindsay beat Sabrina in Tri-State, which was, I think, the first episode. And Sabrina's like, "Well, yeah, no, I'm happy to meet her again. Like, that's fine. I'm not like bothered whatsoever. Yes, I came in second to Lindsay at Tri-State, but like that's better than Miss third place Gael or Miss sixth place Donnie or Miss I didn't even make the finals Colette. So do the math, ladies. You're all losers."
And then she gets a triple uts, because she just all three ladies. I say good for her because they are coming for her. And she's like, what are you making fun of me for? I beat you every single time, you fucking losers.
Yeah.
And so she's like,
Where's Leonie? She's supposed to wear my dress. I don't even know if it fits me. Not wear it. Bring it to me. She's supposed to bring my dress to me. I don't even know how it fits me, so I hope she's here soon.
So Sabrina's whole thing is that she's really mad that Leonie didn't tell her that she was going to be competing in the last thing. And she's like,
She didn't tell anyone she was coming, and I felt it was a bit underhanded. And this is why I was upset. It was kind of like a battle, which I didn't feel like it should have been. And Gail's like, but this is competition, no? You still fighting? Are you fighting with your partner right now? You're fighting? Is that what's happening? You fight.
and Sabrina's like, oh yeah, but I'm not like that. Until we hit the floor, I'd be a friend, which is such bullshit, because then we see Colette's like, oh yeah, right. Don't make it a battle, right? And then we see clips of Sabrina from the whole season being like,
Oh, Colette, you looked really rusty with Alex, your new pro, right? Gosh, was it hard watching Pooja do so well with the one she stole from you? Yeah.
Yeah, you said you weren't dancing, and now you're dancing, huh? That's strange, huh?
yeah. So Colette's like, well, I don't know what her definition of friends in dancing is, but apparently it means as long as you don't beat her, you're friends.
So Gail's like, I am close friend, but I'm close friend, but she doesn't tell me like how she's doing. Like Leonie doesn't tell me how she's doing. And Sabrina's like, oh, I didn't know you guys were close. I had no idea. And Gail's like, yeah, very close. We don't do how you say, that thing that you and Stas do all the time. Fight. We don't fight.
We don't fight. No. And Sabrina's like, wow, okay, great. Cheers. We're all gonna kill it in Millennium, losers. And everybody just kind of stares at her like, we hate you. Die.
So now it's 24 hours until the competition, and Leonie has arrived, and Donnie is trying on a yellow dress somewhere.
Girl, Donnie, no. This yellow dress is terrible. It's like Tweety Bird went to Gay Pride and then decided to try and do like some flap. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's a terrible dress. And she's with the lady who I guess owns the store that she got it from. And I don't know if this lady is selling like last minute dresses in front of the... Doesn't it seem like that? Like, come get your last minute dress before competition. Like she's just standing out in front of the competition convention center. And Donnie's like, what is this gold stone called? And Don, owner of Door Designs, says, that's metallic crystal sunshine. And Donnie says, that's also my stripper name. And Don just doesn't laugh.
The lady is like, what?
You break it, you buy it, bitch.
I don't sell to strippers. Are you a stripper? Don't do that. So now, by the way, I looked up Gail is French. She is French.
Oh, she's French.
She's French.
She does not
Because her
sound to me
Instagram
French.
bio, her name is Gaëlle Pereira Benatrit. And she says she's a Frenchy New Yorker. And she also is the founder of the first French medical spa in New York City. So there you go. So now Sabrina and Stas
medical spa
are rehearsing.
How do you know that you're the first French medical spa? Like, how do you even come up with that stat?
That's the sort of stat you just sort of proclaim if you are on Bravo TV and you're also a ballroom dancer.
Yeah, you're like, okay, well, if there's someone else who made first French spa, they can try to argue with me, but nobody here knows French, so good luck, stupid.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. So Stas and Sabrina are rehearsing, and Sabrina's like, Stas and I are really on the same page. I feel strong. I feel fast. I feel like I'm going to win. And then Leonie is FaceTiming her husband and Charlotte, her daughter Charlotte. And she's like, so, how are you guys doing? Just remember, you do not have to have a perfect response. Because I hear my dad's voice in my head saying, make sure to answer perfectly. And I say, no, answer how you want.
Every competition I go to makes me miss Charlotte. I like winning, but I want my kid to know I love her unconditionally, and she needs to love me unconditionally, even if I don't win, unlike my father, who I'm very upset about. Still, this episode.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So Donnie comes by Leonie's room with some coffee, and now they're going to talk shit, So Donnie's like, oh, wait till you hear about last night, okay? Because Sabrina was like, oh, you hadn't contacted her to say, I have your dress. And I thought that was bizarre that you had to contact her. And then we see a flashback of Sabrina saying, where's Leonie? Because she's bringing my dress. And Gail goes, you didn't contact her?
you didn't contact her. And Sabrina's like, well, she didn't contact me either. It's a contact.
And it's such a weird setup, too, because we saw a clip earlier in the episode of the dress lady being like, oh, I didn't get the dress to Sabrina. Could you take it to her to this very important dance competition? It's like, okay. So Leonie's like, oh, really? How fucking entitled. That sounds a little like me. And then you know what she puts on top of that? A little bit more me.
All over who contacted who about the dress. So then Gail comes over to join. She's like, I hear you're talking shit about Sabrina in here. May I join? So Leonie is like, oh, look at this. It's the glamour queen. The glamour puss. Come on in here, Gail. Owner of the first French medical spa in all of the land.
Because Gail has like a really nice Louis Vuitton purse. So like, oh, look at you, glamour puss. And she's like, so I hear you guys had sort of a kumbaya last night. Or, as this glamour puss would call it, a kumbaya. Am I right? And
Kumbaguchi.
so stupid. And Gail is like, oh, did you tell her? She's complaining about her? You didn't tell her? And Leonie's like, why would I tell her? I didn't even tell you guys that I wasn't coming, that I was going to come to that competition after all. I mean, if I have to tell her, then I have to tell everybody. Why would I have to tell her? If I want to keep it a secret, I'll keep it a secret because that's my prerogative. Thank you, Janet Jackson. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's what you just got, Cleopatra, bitch.
Everybody's talking all this shit about me. That's my prerogative.
Why don't they just let me live?
Why can't they just let me live? I don't need... Okay, I'm going to stop this.
Permission. I make my own decisions, even when my father doesn't approve of them, which really still crushes me inside. You know what? It was my prerogative, but now it's my daddy issues. My daddy issues hurt much more than Janet not getting a prerogative.
Well, I believe it was Bobby Brown who truly did not got his prerogative on that song. Because every little step
It's true. Why'd you bring up that song?
My prerogative?
Yeah.
Because that's the name of the song. And you said My Prerogative. And it's My Prerogative by Bobby Brown. So I thought that's why you were referencing.
Well, I was talking about Janet Jackson. Why'd you take it to Bobby Brown? Because I mixed the metaphor first, did I? So
what song were you referencing?
What's the one where she goes, dun, dun, dun? She like can't stand with the numbers in front of her face.
I don't remember, but I thought you were referencing My Prerogative because you said it's my prerogative.
I was being Janet Jackson. You know what? Nothing makes sense. This is our 19th recap in 2 weeks. All right? We haven't had a day off.
Here's what I have to say to Bobby Brown. I miss you much. M-R-S. Miss you much. I really miss you much.
If anyone's down for a little wardrobe malfunction, it's going to be Sabrina. If she fucks with me one more time, I'll tell you that much.
Love will never do without Sabrina.
And then we get another good, iconic Leonie line. She goes, I've never really had anything against Sabrina before, but what the fuck? Do I really know you? The answer to that is no. It's like, oh, T-shirt. I smell a T-shirt.
T-shirt. That entire line is the T-shirt. So there's several. So Donnie's like, she's just upset that you beat her. So then we go to Sabrina, and she's not excited right now. And Stas tells Sabrina that she doesn't listen. He's like, you don't have to piss off all your friends all the time. I don't know if you realize this, but sometimes you say things that they don't like. And she's like, me? But I'm the nicest person here. Stas, you look ugly today, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, you're gross. Everybody hates you. So then we go to Leonie, and she's still going on. She's like, she's delusional to think I'm calling her for permission before I enter a competition. Did Cleopatra take permission to take over Egypt? She did not. She just went right in there and said, this is my period. And she kept it until an asp came in later. But you know what? Let's leave Mark Anthony out of this right now, all right? Mark Anthony is very supportive of Cleopatra's not being perfect.
She's delusional to think that I'm going to crawl up her ass and give her a dress, which, by the way, isn't even that much of a dress. Stupid dress. That goes on a T-shirt too. That dress isn't much of a dress on a T-shirt. So Sabrina is like, maybe they're just jealous. Stas like, maybe. Because, everyone says Canadians are so nice, but maybe it's time to nip that in the bud and become more American. I'm like, well,
that doesn't nip the Canadian reputation in the bud. That's just you being more American. You'd have to be mean and be like, I am a mean Canadian, not like I'm going to switch to being American. But that's fine.
By the way, you are pretty American. Sometimes I feel like American is just a state of mind, and you've got it. Congrats. So do I, by the way. There's no shame in it. Okay?
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
anyway.
unless you're in any other country in the world, then there's like a lot of shame in it because they're like, ew, you're American. You're like, oh my God, I know. I'm so sorry.
Sabrina's
But
like,
in general, we have it great here. You know, Walmarts, grocery stores, home goods. Okay, Ben, please continue. I'm
I
sorry.
say that Sabrina's going to try to pretend to, she's like, I'm going to show them all that I'm a mean Canadian. I'm going to light a bush on fire. Cut to now, like Chicago is full of brown air. It's all Sabrina's fault. So Sabrina started the wildfires, everyone. You heard it here first. So
Leonie's making fun of her dress to the other girls because Leonie has the dress, right? So she's like, let's look at this slutty dress, all right? So she pulls out the dress, and it's just basically silly string. You know, like when people use that neon colored silly string that sprays out of a can?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Someone just sprayed it onto the bed.
it sort of looks like Ariana's dress from the reunion, you know, just with like straps. So Leonie's like, it's like a bra. That's all it is. It's very tits and ass. I'm like saying this like in shock, as if what everyone is wearing at the ballroom thing is not just like tits and ass.
I know, like the rest of you are wearing Hillary Clinton's white pantsuit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I know.
And Gail's like, oh, this is very tits on ass. Okay.
not classy.
Not classy. And Leonie says, well, I think it suits her. And they're like, oh my God, Leonie, icon. So it's 20 hours till the competition. And we see Pooja's mom dancing in Group D. And she's a badass, can I just say. And then we see Luna, the sister, dancing her dance, whatever her group is, and they're okay. And Pooja's like, my mommy dances 3 styles, smooth, Latin, and rhythm, and both my mom and sister plays top consistently. I just don't want to be the only one that doesn't do well in my home. Pooja, cry outside, okay?
Her mom was like, there, feel better, Pooja. Mom, why did you put a sheet over me? We don't want people to see you, okay? You're not part of this family for today. So now Nino and Gael are practicing, and Colette and Alex are practicing, and Colette's like, the new routines are really suiting us as a couple. I'm like, no one cares. And then we go back to Leonie's room, and she's got some pads under her eyes because she's, taking care of her face. You don't have to be perfect, but in this case, I do want to have perfect skin. And Sabrina comes by to pick up her dress, and she's like, surprise, I'm here.
Oh, well, I have your dress for you. And she's like,
Yeah, that's a surprise.
and then she tells us,
Stas took it upon himself to design my dress for this competition because nobody knows my body better than Stas. Well, except for Ronnie, of course.
Nice save.
Totally not fucking Stas.
so she's let Stas design her dress, and Stas basically puts yarn over her nipples and her vagina opening, and that's all this dress is. Thanks a lot, Stas.
I don't know how I feel about leaving the fashion stuff up to your dance partner.
No, never. Fucking never. Are you kidding? Stas is wearing steampunk glasses. Don't trust Stas.
No. So Sabrina is Sabrina's like, I haven't seen it. I know nothing about it. And Leonie just cringes like, oh, that's, I'll smile, but I'm going to smile cringe at you because this is really a shame for you. And Sabrina's like,
It's like meeting someone who's watching Lost for the first time. You just don't want to tell them. It doesn't end well.
You're going to be going on a journey for several years. That's going to be very unfulfilling. In dress form. So Sabrina's like, the last 3 dresses have been very closed and I'm not used to that. So hopefully this one's going to be a little bit more sexy. And Leonie's like, oh, yeah. How do you feel about yarn? How do you feel about an unraveled loom all around your nipples? Yeah.
Yeah. And she goes, but
While I'm here, I do want to call out the fact that at the last competition, I didn't know you were coming, and I didn't know if it was manipulative, but I took it that way. And I'm sure that everybody told you. So let's just nip that in the ass right now.
And Leonie's like, right. And did that compromise or impair your performance at all?
She's like, no, but I feel like women have this camaraderie thing, this like girl code. And if like we talk that we're not coming, then we should talk that we are coming. And Leonie's like, does she even know what girl code means? Like, come the fuck on. So Leonie's like, my interpretation of girl code is as it relates to dating. It's like you don't pursue or fuck your girlfriend, significant other, boyfriend, ex-husband, stars. You just don't fuck stars. So that's what I thought girl code meant. What are you talking about?
And Sabrina's like,
I'm not talking about fucking your husband.
and we got a psst. And Sabrina's like,
Yeah, never am I talking about husbands. Listen, my family is number one, so I get it. Well, unless it's like a competition time because my daughter's doing gymnastics, right? Or unless it's Passover. You know what I mean? But you know what? One thing is not going to get passed over? A dance competition. Am I right? So the point is, like, when you got there, you didn't even say hi, and I felt like a lot of cold air around you.
and she goes, listen, I'm a fairly no-nonsense person, all right? And I don't typically seek permission of people, because if I had to tell you, I might as well tell every pro-am that entered. How about that?
I mean,
How
what
about if
part
I
about-
just called Tom Bergeron and ask him if it's all right if I appear at a dance competition? How about that?
What part about this severe Bob says I'm a nonsense person? No, this is a no-nonsense hairstyle because I work in finance and I'm no-nonsense. So Sabrina's like, so you're saying you don't owe me anything. That's what you're saying. That's cool. That's cool. You don't owe me
She's like-
anything.
And she does that like sideways head bob of her head with her bob, where she's like, I'm bobbing with a bob. Go fuck yourself. All right.
So Leonie's like, she's like, I'm not going to argue with Sabrina. I just want you to get on that dance floor, be your best. So if I beat you again, you have no excuses.
So she's like, well, I wish you the best of luck tomorrow. You're a great dancer. Unfortunately, your personality can't compete. And Sabrina's like,
If I'm great, you were greater that one day in Atlanta, so congrats to you on that.
and Leonie just keeps nodding like, get the fuck out. Go. And then we get a song, which we don't often get, but we've got a song that goes, the devil's got you beat.
So now it's 5 hours until the competition because the devil does have you beat. And Colette,
What does that even mean?
the devil's got you beat for 5 more hours. So then Colette is texting Kelvin, that's her son, that she misses him. And Leonie is doing very severe yoga, the type of yoga where it's like, oh, I'm doing yoga right now, everyone. And Pooja's waking up her son in the bed, and Donnie is Donnie's visiting Boyko. Boyko is like the hairstylist for ballroom.
Boyko.
Everyone goes through Boyko. And so Donnie sits down in the chair and he's like, so what do you want to do today? And she goes, I'm thinking kind of like a mohawk. And he just starts laughing. He's like, oh, you're so funny sometimes in the morning. No,
You are hilarious.
Robin haircut.
You are Hillary Clinton. I'm going to bring her up 20 times in recap today. So Leonie's like, what are you wearing? And Donnie's like, white and gold. It's amazing. I just bought it out front from this lady selling stuff out in front of the dress is going to change everything for me. The dress is going to change everything.
And Leonie's like, I'm doing white too, just like Cleopatra. I'm actually going to have a dress that has Cleopatra's face on it, just so people really know how much I love Cleopatra.
Yeah, and she's like, Donnie's like, well, what happened with Sabrina? Did she go to your room? She goes, I mean, she came to my room, and the stuff she said just doesn't make sense. I'm not telling you I'm coming. And now, if you go missing for some time, I might call a search party and say, look for a little tiny nasal-faced lady running around wearing silly string like she's just been attacked by a group of teenagers. Am I right?
Imagine Reza Farahàn with a long ponytail and no mustache. Go find that. So Donnie's like, okay, got it. So you might do that. She goes, I may not, because I'm severe. So she's like, I'm not someone who makes friends easily, but I'm not the ice queen people think I am. I'm from the land down under. It's quite warm down there in Australia.
Yeah. And she just keeps nodding at us coldly. She's like, are you sensing it? Are you sensing my warmness?
Can you feel my warmth coming through the television?
Oh,
My
yeah.
bob is filled with warmth.
Hold on, I just got a text from my father. You look cold on television. All right, well, I guess I'll just keep trying.
All right. Well, they talk about global warming. I don't even need it. I'm already there.
So Pooja gets in her chair, and who's asking her? Is it someone's asking her? Oh, this is Leonie. She goes, "Oh, all right. Look, there's Pooja here. So you're all here in your family then, and you all dance with the same teacher. Is that right?" And Pooja's like, yeah. The last 4 years we've all been with Christian. Like he literally has Mira at 11:05, me at 11:15, and then my mom at 11:28. It is great. It's really, really fun. And I just hope that at 11:05 and at 11:28, I'm not being looked down upon by the two people I really need approval from the most. So thank you for asking.
It's, I have to say, it's so generous of my mother and my sister to put me in the most restricted time slot with what's his face, with Christian. That was really so kind. I mean, I probably need a little bit more time because I never danced like this before. But it's great that my mom took the long slot. That's great. I know she loves me. I know she loves me.
And Leonie goes, "Well, I've been told that Colette got dumped for you. That's what I've been told. So it better be good. That's all I'm saying." And Pooja's like, okay, thanks for the heads up. She goes, "All eyes are on you, all right, but I'm not shit stirring. But I'm not shit stirring because I don't want to lick that spoon. Bye, everybody." It's like,
Put
whoa.
that on a t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt. Not shit stirring because I don't want to lick that spoon. All right, and put a little bob on the spoon. Put a spoon on it with a little bob, a bobbed spoon.
Pooja does not like that. She's like, there's always a new winner in the ballroom, and no one should feel too cocky at the top.
Her mother comes in and is like, "That is true, but it will not be you." So now the couples are practicing. Now it's 3 hours.
You shouldn't get cocky on the bottom either.
Don't get cocky on Boyko's chair. So the couples are practicing, and we got 3 hours until the competition starts. And Costa asks Leonie how she feels, and she's like, "I'm a little nervous. I'm still hearing my dad's voice in my head. Be the best and the fastest. But my voice has become louder. Good on you for putting myself out there and knowing that mistakes can happen. And I'm not running from it anymore. I will not run." Put that entire thing on a t-shirt, please. Thank you.
But you know what I will do? I'll wear a bathrobe over my dress for no reason at all while I'm practice dancing. I'm like, how is that? Isn't that uncomfortable? And aren't you going to make your dress sweaty and wrinkled? What are you doing? So then we go to Donnie, and her partner's like, "Just enjoy yourself." And she's like, "I have this mindset now where I'm just going to enjoy myself and be happy. YOLO. Live your best life. Am I right?"
Everything's fine. Everything's totally fine. So now Colette is telling us that she has a new sense of freedom in knowing that Kelvin is thriving. And I don't have to check in. I can focus on dance, and that's okay. Like, Colette, bad news, your turtles all died. Oh, damn it. Forgot about the turtles. I do have to check in.
And then Sabrina is doing makeup, and Gail's like, "Oh, look at you, very beautiful." And she's getting some like kind of sculptured piece glued down to her hair. And she goes, "Oh, your hair, it looks wet." And she goes,
Do you like it?
she's like, "No, I don't like it. I like different style."
We have different style. You like wet, gooey gel. I like, things that are pretty and classy,
You look like a disgusting person. I look beautiful. This is what I like. Good luck. Good luck being
like
disgusting.
Zebra poop? I look like beauty, but that's it. I know. What do I know? I just have the first French med spa in all of New York City. But what do I know?
Oh.
So Sabrina goes, "It's not my style. Losing."
Which, well said, again. I like that all these ladies come for her, but she's constantly winning. So she's like, "Keep coming for me. Can't wait to beat you again." So then Mira, Pooja's sister, is dancing with the partner, Christian, the town bike, as we call him. And Pooja's like, "Oh, it's really hard to warm up by yourself, but my mom and sister are really going to take all of his time. So that's fun." It's like, also, it's not fair because this guy never gets a break.
I know.
The guy is constantly moving. How do you guys expect him to perform at
That's
the
why
top
he's
of
the
his
pro.
game,
She's like, "Donnie may have Robin's haircut, but I'm the one dancing by myself." So then now
Oh my
Sabrina
God, I had a booger on my nose. I just had an itch, and I squeezed my nose and a booger came out. That is disgusting. I'm sorry for anybody who's seen my booger in the past 4 hours that we've been recapping. Jesus.
That's okay. I have to go to the bathroom very badly, which is why I'm shifting around in my seat so much. So we all have our challenges at this moment. But you know what?
I guess we do.
push through. We push through because it's dance. So
guess what's not pushing through? Poo-poo.
Pee-poo.
Out of bin.
Pee-poo is not pushing out. Pee-poo is just sitting there ready. Pee-poo's
Why
on
are we
deck.
being like this?
I don't know.
Okay, so let's get to it, right? So Sabrina is showing Stas the dress, and he's like, "Oh yes, show me, let's see, yes, yes, yes." And then she gets a call from Ronnie, and he's like, "Hey, honey, how you doing? Did you win yet? Or are you quitting dance forever? Because I'm not putting up with this shit. I'll tell you that right now." And she's like, "Honey, I'm in practice. I can't talk to you when I'm done. I'm overwhelmed, Ronnie." And he's right behind her, and he goes,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? You want to fuck?
And she's like, "Oh my God, Ronnie! Oh Jesus Christ, Ronnie's here."
Ronnie, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad. I was saving all this sexual energy for you, for sure. Yes. So Ronnie's like, honey, I'm here for one reason. She goes, okay, all right, I'm gonna win. He's like, yeah, you better win. And she's like, well, there's more pressure now because Ronnie's watching and he gave me an ultimatum. And if I don't win here today, I don't know if he'll ever let me go on with this. So not dancing would just kill me. So yeah, thanks a fucking lot, Ronnie, for showing up and just getting in my head. Like, thanks so much. I really needed this.
I know. Ronnie's like fucking with her. What the hell, dude? I also like Millennium Ultimatum. I think that
it's a
sounds so
Millennium
good
Ultimatum.
together. You know what I mean?
But maybe he is fucking with her on purpose because he wants her to quit, you know? So
Maybe he's just showing up not to support, but to get her. But you know what? Ronnie knows. Ronnie's not an idiot. Ronnie just needs a little more attention, but Ronnie knows this woman's going to be miserable without dance. And also, if Sabrina was your wife or your mother or your sister, really anybody in your life, your boss, wouldn't you want her leaving a couple of times a month for
Exactly.
weekends at a time?
well, he's just like, listen, I had to come because it's day 56 of Passover, and I needed to ask you, can you come back to Toronto and at least just make some more matzo ball soup, please?
She's like, "Oh my God, you're bringing Passover here, Ronnie? That means I have to leave here because I'm not going to be there for Passover."
What is wrong with us?
She's just determined. The only reason she started this career is because she hates Passover.
She hates Passover. She is sick of making a Seder plate. She's like, I don't want to make a hard-boiled egg anymore. I don't want to roast a shank bone. I don't want to put out little bowls of salt water and parsley. I'm done. I'm
She's
going to
like,
go
if
dancing.
I have to make one more fucking bread braid, someone's going to die.
If I have to put out more gefilte fish one more time, going to
All right,
different
so
country.
it's 10 minutes before Group B. And there's so many people at this competition because they've actually brought in extras this time, which I loved.
Yeah.
They have to have heats.
Yeah. They have to have heats. So there's heat one is like.
So what
cha-cha-cha.
heat are you in? Are you in heat? I would just die. I would be like, how dare you? Can we change the name of this? Don't
So-
say me.
So Pooch is like, they're saying that one of the advantages of heats is that you can watch your competitors and you can know, like, and Pooch is like, I think they just know who they want within the first few dances. And her mom is like, oh yeah, just like we knew you'd be a failure at this 6 months ago, you know? So Sabrina and Gail and Pooja are dancing the first heat, and then Colette is spiraling, not spiraling, she's nervous because there are people in her heat that she's never beaten before.
Yes. And production is, so she's like, yeah, I haven't beat some people. I mean, there's like Donnie, she names everybody. She's like, there's Lindsay, there's Maddie, there's Jennifer, there's Simon. I don't even know anybody named Simon, but I'm sure he's a threat. And the producer goes, you didn't mention Pooja. And she goes, she's not a contender for my spot. So
She's certainly no Lindsay. Tell you that much.
Colette is so bitter. My God. You should have just upped your money. Offer him more money, Colette.
Pooja's mom is like, would you like to take my place? I need a vacation of being the mom, but you seem to have a really good attitude towards Pooja, so we would like you you can keep, I'm going to pass you the torch. Just keep being,
Could
keep
you
this
stand
energy.
in and disapprove of Pooja so that we can have a vacation? That'd be great.
So now it's time for the rumba. And Ronnie's just sitting there in the front row, and he's asking. There's like a dancer. He's like, "Are you a dancer?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Who's the best?" He's like, "The woman over there wearing the pipe cleaners." Oh yeah, that's my wife. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my wife. Score. I won. Look at that. I didn't even know there was a raffle today. I just won the meat raffle. That's my wife. You go, honey. You're the hottest piece of ass here. So Leonie's like, Sabrina's style is like a boner. What does that mean?
Porno.
Oh, Sabrina's style is like a boner. Because prolonged eye contact, it means you're fighting or you're fucking. And then it cuts to Sabrina, which she totally does. Every move she makes, she's like, ah, whoo, sha, ah, oh, ah. Like she does that thing when people are playing tennis and they're going, oh.
Yeah. Monica Seles saying, don't feel bad about mishearing porno because I wrote down prolonged eye contact means you're either going to fart or fuck. And I was like, I was like, that seems a little off-brand for
I'm going to
Leonie.
stare into your eyes so you don't smell what's about to come.
You know, a boner is how you say porno in Australia. Hey, I love a good hardcore boner.
So next is the El Paso Doble. And Sabrina's making her noises. She's like, ah, oh.
Stuff.
And Leonie's
And then
like,
Puta Madrigal comes out with fans and does a fan dance. Like, oh my God, I love El Paso.
and Leonie's like, I see Pooja. And she's got presence. Her Paso Doble is unforgettable. She's crushing it. She's like a little baby Cleopatra, but not the real Cleopatra.
So then it's time for the jive. Now the jive is just such a weird dance to be included in the same competition, right? It's like the Paso Doble, the rumba, the jive. Dun, 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 dun. It's like it always ends with the finale of Grease. I'm like, how did we get to the jive?
It was like some PTA board insisted it had to be part of it. It's like, well, my daughter Nina is very good at jive, and we spend a lot of money at this school, so you better include jive in the Latin dancing.
I didn't realize jive was a Latin dance. I'm going to say,
Maybe it is.
Where does the dance jive originate? It's a style that originated in the United States from the African Americans in the early 1930s. The name of the dance comes from the name of a form of African American vernacular slang popularized in the 1930s. Well, that's what I thought. Okay. In competition ballroom dancing, the jive is often grouped with the Latin-inspired ballroom dances, though its roots are based on swing dancing and not Latin dancing. Well, guess what? Guess who called it? His name is Ronnie Karam. You're welcome, everybody.
And you know what? Since you are researching, I decided I would research. And here's something I totally forgot about. Cleopatra, she actually died by suicide, allegedly from the fatal bite of a venomous snake. So she wasn't taken out, but she did. So she died by suicide, which is a very different tale. Again, Leonie.
Because wasn't it something with Mark Anthony? Like she ended up having to screw over Mark Anthony or something?
I thought it was. I feel so bad. I am not up to date on my Cleopatra.
I think she got him killed or something, and then she felt so guilty that she got herself killed.
Wasn't she dating Julius Caesar? And then wasn't Mark Antony her lover? I am so wrong. The thing is this:
No.
you can't just what's
What
annoying
was
is you
it?
can't go on the internet and be like, can you just give me one paragraph about Cleopatra? Everything has to be like 10 million paragraphs. And then in this year she went and bought a chariot. So. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna.
Cleopatra first began her legendary love with the Roman general Mark Antony. Their relationship had a political component. Cleopatra needed Antony to protect her crown and maintain Egypt's independence, while Antony needed access to Egypt's riches and resources. But they were also famously fond of each other.
You know what?
So did Julius Caesar and Cleopatra have a relationship? At the time of their meeting, Cleopatra was 21 and Caesar was 52. They quickly entered into a love affair. After their meeting, their relationship would continue for a few years until his death. The two of them had a son together. So wait, Mark Antony killed Caesar and then hooked up with Cleopatra after? That's cold, Mark Antony.
Yeah, that's why they make a movie about it.
She's never loyal to Antony, even though she claims to kill herself over him. Her constant willingness throughout the play to manipulate him is an indication of the fact that she'd betray him as soon as it was convenient for her, politically or emotionally. Girl, guess what I'm doing over break? I'm renting Cleopatra. It sounds so, even though I know everything that happened, I'm into it.
Yeah, she's drama. So the jive, she is.
So the jive. The
Cleopatra's
jive.
favorite
Let's go
dance,
back
the
to the
jive.
history of the jive.
Oh my God. So
I can't laugh too hard. So Sabrina, the jive is happening, and Sabrina's like, she's like, I noticed that Donnie is dancing with the biggest smile. She is in her happy place. So we know Donnie's gonna fail ultimately because Sabrina is like saying something nice about Donnie, which means that Donnie is not a competition for her. So she's like, okay, Donnie's not gonna do well here.
Right. And then Pooja's like, I mean, Colette is technically correct in many movements, but she doesn't really sparkle the way everyone else does. Like, damn, ouch. Like, telling somebody, like, you're talented, but you have no charisma, I think that's, like, the coldest thing literally anybody has said on this show.
Wow.
And Pooja's probably the nicest, but also she's put up with a lot of shit from Colette that she shouldn't have had to put up with. But ouch.
Well,
and then
guess
they
what?
cut to Colette being robotic. But
Yeah.
Colette is like, her body is banging. She wears these really sexy dresses, and she's a very good I mean, I think she's very good. Okay,
She
what
is
do I
very
know
good.
about
They're all
dance
very
charisma?
good. I'm surprised they're not pros. So now the heats are done, and only 6 are going to move on to the finals. Okay, so we're all going to find out. And Christian, he hugs Pooja, and he's like, "I am so proud of you. I'm really, really, really. I am so proud of you." I'm like, "Oh, even he knows that they're cut." That's what that means. He's like, "Thanks so much. Your journey ends here."
Yeah. So final recalls. Okay, so there's a whiteboard. The finalists are Sabrina and Stas, Colette and Alex, Gael and Nino, Leonie and Costa, and that means Pooja and Donnie are cut.
I know. So Pooja's crying, and her mom is like, "I am so proud of you for realizing your limited potential. I'm just, it's about time. Having a realistic view about your life journey is really the most important thing to have." Proud of
I'm
you.
so proud of you. Me and Mira had a bet, and we both bet that you would lose, but I bet 100 and she bet 20, so I ended up winning everything. So thank you.
I'm
You
so
lost
proud.
even harder than I thought you would originally lose.
Yes, I am so proud that you finally understand the true toll of wasting everyone's time. I'm proud of you.
And Pooja's like, oh my God, that's all I needed was for somebody to say they're proud of me. So actually, I'm a winner. And her mom's like, no, you're not.
You're
Love
actually
me just
literally
remind
quite
you.
literally a loser. You didn't even make it past the
Huge.
the heat.
Huge loser. Big
Huge.
time loser. Big
Like
time.
failure.
So then Leonie marches right over to Donnie, and she's like, Donnie, I am so sorry. That was a real boner. And Donnie's like, no, it's fine. Like, really, I'm totally fine. I mean, I can't lie and say I would love, not to make the final. I mean, of course I would, but I really did enjoy it. And that's the most important thing. So, yay!
Today was the first time in so long that I just enjoyed being out on the floor again, and it's a real win for me. And my mom said that I looked great out there, but to be fair, she was also listening to Kylie Minogue at the same time, so I guess it just really felt it was a very exciting time for her. She kept on saying padam, padam, and I was like, what are you talking about, Mom?
So now it's the division round with 6 couples. And Leonie tells us, well, I'm not here for a Sunday picnic. If I'm away from my child, I want to win. I was like, oh my God, iconic t-shirt.
But also be open to a Sunday picnic, because that might be kind of a fun thing to do after the competition.
I know. I don't feel like that's the most t-shirtable thing. Guess what? I'm not here for a Sunday picnic. Well, don't wear that to a park on a weekend because you're dissing literally everybody else there.
Literally a wonderful activity. She's like, if I'm away from my child, I want to win. Glad she's. I love how she, on the one hand, is like, you know what? I want to teach my daughter that you don't have to be perfect in life. Imperfection's okay. Not everything has to work out. If I'm away from my daughter, I want to win.
Yeah, and this is their pre-competition. Everybody gets a line, and then it cuts to Colette, and she's like, "It shook my confidence to change partners, but now I'm here to prove something." And then it cuts to Sabrina, and she's like,
I sacrificed Passover to get here. I need to win.
So, also, by the way, you know who else is also in the finals? Tina. Yeah, Tina made it.
"Tina made it."
But even more so, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Lindsay
Just when
made
you
it,
thought
too.
Lindsay was going to be taken out. No, Lindsay. I was thinking at this point, after this whole season of like who's going to win, I was like, watch Lindsay win this whole thing. And they all
Yeah,
have to
that would have been
learn
good,
about
actually.
losing.
And did you notice? Maybe it's now that we start noticing the hair slapping, because Lindsay is a hair slapper. She's so cold to her pro. I think that Leonie's hair is so perfect because she still gets all the movement and drama, but without hitting somebody in the face. And I also noticed that I think Sabrina pins her big braid down so it doesn't hit Stas in the face, which I have to say, at least Stas is sticking up for himself. He probably got sick of being bruised.
Yeah. Because the other thing is that, like, because Leonie has a short bob, her hair goes back and forth really quickly because there's not as much hair. When you have a long hair, it takes longer to go all the way around and all the way back. But with a short bob, it's like a car wash. You know, the things that go around on the side of your car.
Yeah.
She's sort of doing that, and
It's like the mirror thing, like
very
where it gets to your
visceral.
mirrors.
Yeah. Like you have to bring your mirrors in when you're around Leonie a little bit. You know.
Yeah. So the couples are introduced, and the first round is the cha-cha. And Leonie's like, well, Stan or
Good, no, 'cause
Stanley,
Stas is
or whatever his name is.
Well, she probably did say something about someone named Stanley. There's someone named Stanley who's watching, and I'd prefer him to leave. But Stas and Sabrina are doing their thing during the cha-cha, and then Stas like steps on Leonie while she's like moving past, which I was like, that was intentional. I want to say something that was intentional. That was not a mistake. That was Stas and Sabrina undermining Leonie. We all know it. We all saw it.
Well, except that it undermines himself too, because it's hard to get first place when you're running into people on the dance floor, right?
Yeah, but he knew. I think they knew that it would rattle Leonie. But guess what? It didn't rattle her, because in the past, that would have destroyed my confidence. But this time, it's more about perseverance. Just the way Cleopatra persevered. Well, for one part of her life. And so much less about perfection. What can I say? I'm in my zone.
And then we get to the samba, and Donnie's like, I mean, listen, I wish I was competing, or at least at the bar getting shit-faced, but here I am on this TV show. Please stop cutting to me. And then Ronnie's like, hey, what are you? They're not looking at Sabrina. Why aren't they looking at Sabrina? And the lady next to him was like, don't worry, the judges see everything.
That's so funny. Donnie is definitely like, okay, I'm eliminated. You don't have to have a camera in my face.
Why do I
Thanks.
still have to be here? Have I not done enough for you?
My mom's putting money into a go-go dancer's strings right now, G-string. I just want to be with over there instead of watching these fools. Can I go now?
Yeah. So now's the paso doble. And Colette's guy is like, they're doing it, and he's like, come on. He's like kind of yelling at her, like, come on, keep up. And Ronnie's like, yeah, honey, go, baby. Yeah, baby, yeah. Holla, Brad. She's like, oh, my God, that reminds me of Passover. Please stop it, Ronnie.
Now it's time for the jive. And Colette's like, I just love my new jive. It just feels right.
And this is how Ronnie supports his wife. He yells out, hey, come on, suck it up.
Suck it up. So Donnie is, then Donnie's telling us, like, you know, there's always a discrepancy between who will win and who should win. And I'm rooting for Leonie, best Bob. And Pooja, meanwhile, Pooja's still like crying in the corner. Pooja has not stopped crying. She is still crying in the corner. And she's like, Sabrina sells it in a way that you just can't argue with it. And I was like, can anyone put in some words for Gael? She's out there too. Hello.
There is so much truth to that, though. Like, and I think that Donnie knows too, because Donnie's like, well, who should win and who will win are different. Like, it's somehow unfair because she knows that Sabrina's obviously going to win. I mean, Sabrina's like, and she is like overly sexual and like, ooh, but that's what it is. And she's the best at it. She is clearly the best at it.
But everyone's just discounting Lindsay. Hello, Lindsay's here. So now it's time for
Lindsay. I think everybody is feeling horrible after they've just watched Lindsay fucking eye torture some fucking,
Tina.
guy who came to this country with a dream,
No one's even considering Tina, I'd like to add. Tina's there. Okay, Lindsay and Tina are both in the top 6, okay?
I couldn't pick out Tina from a lineup.
That's Tina's lot in life. That's like if she's on next season, she's like, no one can pick me up. I literally committed a crime, so I could be picked out of a literal lineup, and I still wasn't picked.
I couldn't even get thrown in jail, right? So it's awards time. 6th place, Colette and Alex. And Colette's like, well, everybody's victory is different. And this victory taught me that I don't need Christian or Alex to be mediocre. I can do it with just myself if I want to.
This victory taught me that if I don't check in my household, my turtles will die. Yeah, my turtles are dead. My turtles are dead. And my quote-unquote friend did not feed them. It was sort of passive-aggressive. I didn't appreciate that. She stole my golden retrievers, too.
Oh, don't worry. Someone did not forget to give Tina 5th place.
Good way to go, Tina. Congrats to being on a TV show and fucking sucking.
I'm literally trying to remember Tina, and all I remember, it's like a blurry circle walking by. I don't remember Tina's face.
Way to go,
all.
Tina. And then, here's a huge shock. Lindsay and Vlad, 4th place. Wow. Talk about a fall from grace from the winner of Tri-State. Better luck next time, Lindsay. Or should I call you Failsy?
Lynn's fail. So then 3rd place, ... Sabrina's like,
It's me, Leonie, and Gael, the 2 women who in my ear are like, ba 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 ba.
3rd place is, God, I hope I don't lose to Sabrina. 3rd place is, oh, let me tell you this. One day you're up, the next day you're down. The 3rd day, my dad doesn't approve of me. And 3rd place is...
I'm not here for a Sunday picnic. I am here for a respectable and light breakfast on a Saturday, followed by dancing.
3rd place is Leonie and Costa. And
Donnie goes, oh my.
Yeah, she's like, wow. And Leonie got 3rd, and she's like, well, that's disappointing. And the producer says, well, how do you feel about coming in behind Gael? She's stuck up for you the whole season, and she seems super cool, and you guys are like really good friends, and you love her purse. And she's like, well, I expected to come in behind Nino. And they go, why are you saying Nino and not Gael? And she's like, I'm a better dancer than Gael. I was like, oh,
wow, the truth comes out. Well, now
Leonie's
now
an
I'm-
asshole.
Yeah, and now I'm like, okay, Team Gael. I'm surprised what this supports the theory that they sort of cobbled together this cast sort of like as they went, because if Gael is in 2nd place, you would think that they would be following Gael all season long. So it's down between Sabrina and Gael, 1st and 2nd.
Yeah.
So now it's Gael. I'm like, please, Gael. I'm rooting for Gael. Team Gael. I want Gael. I think I want to put all the eggs in the basket of the first French med spa in New York City. Okay, please. Gael has to win this whole thing.
Yeah. So Gael gets 2nd place, which means Sabrina wins it.
She does, and she's like, I'm so glad I beat Leonie.
She's like, I can't be nice to her. I just can't be nice to her. And so Leonie like hugs her in that head bobbing way with evil eyes, like, die, bitch. And Leonie's like, listen,
T-shirt.
I think she's fantastic, but my patience with her is like a toddler wearing a tiara. It's short and precious.
Right, her one-liners may need a little work.
She needs some work.
She needs, yeah, it's okay. She's on a
She's
low
got the
show.
confidence. She just
does.
needs the actual lines. You know what I mean? And this has all been like most Bravo shows. They start as a community theater experiment. And that's what
Yes.
this show was. It was some gay with a camera who just believed in himself. He had like 2 iPhones that he and his mom went out and shot all of this on,
Yeah.
you know, and they edited it on their iMovie. And I
Yeah.
say, good for you. Your germ of an idea is very good.
So Sabrina's like, I think Ronnie realizes I dance to live. This is my happiness. He loves me for who I am. I'm like, well, that's a bit of a leap there. I don't know if he loves you for who you are, but he does realize that you like to dance. You know, he's
Yeah,
like, all
and,
right, if we leave now, we can get back for day 67 of Passover. So
Guess what? It's already Passover again. Come on, let's go home. Fuck, I don't even care. Let's celebrate Easter at this point. What the fuck do I care? Just come home. So,
Tu b'Shvat, I don't care.
Pooja is literally still fucking sobbing with her mother and sister. Could you stop? Enough. Okay, go feel insecure somewhere else. I can't with you.
It's little like I know it's cool to win this competition and everything, but also like this is just come on.
Too much.
Yeah. So
This
the
is
mom's
too
like,
much.
you did your best and that's all that matters. So your best happens to be a very terrible effort, but still it's your best. And it's not my best, obviously, because my best wins trophies, but be proud of your effort.
But can I also say the mom and the daughter, stop putting them on pedestals. The mom got 5th place and the daughter got 3rd place. It's not like they're You know, they don't get a parade either. So you should shame them. So then we see where everybody's at 6 months later. Pooja has switched right back to rhythm the second the cameras went down. Yeah. And guess what? She has placed first in 3 competitions. And guess who hasn't? Her mom or sister.
Yeah.
So good for her. She's back to being top dog. I think that's why she was really crying the whole time. She's used to being better than these women. And now she had to be worse than them. And it hurt. So she's back.
So now Colette... she's like, dance was my escape, and for a while, dance got stressful. But thank you, Christian. It was stressful thanks to Christian. Sorry, I'm really struggling through my line right now. But my dance journey this year was successful, even though I finished in 6th place in the biggest competition of the year.
Yeah. And does it say that she's still working with her partner? Didn't Alex leave her too? I think Alex left her too.
I thought so, but it actually says that Colette and Alex continue to work on their chemistry, and she hopes Calvin will have a place in assisted living soon. So they're still together.
So then we go to Rita and Donnie, and Rita's like,
I thought you was beautiful as always, honey. You know, did you have fun over there?
And Donnie's like,
Padam. Go on, daughter.
Did you have fun? Because you know what's always fun? I always have fun at the YMCA.
I'm coming out. I want the world to know that I'm seeing my daughter dancing, so I'm coming out of the house to go see her dance.
And Donnie's like, I hope Dad saw me. Thank you for always being there, Mom. And 6 months later, Donnie's like, my dad would always say, stay true to yourself. Remember, you're a birch.
I hated when he would call me a tree. It was so insulting, but it was very motivating. I was like, can I at least be a pine? He's like, no, you're a birch.
So Donnie has lost 10 pounds and found a new partner, and boom, she placed first in the last 2 competitions she was in. So she's doing great.
She's back.
And you know what? It's her partner. She was with that partner for 7 years. He was not serving her. He would not tell her dresses were stupid, and she got a better partner who was honest about her dresses. That's what I say. Good for you, Donnie.
That's right.
Loved her.
Now we have Leonie, and she goes, I dance my best here. I don't go home with a loss. The only thing I go home with is knowing I didn't win, which I guess is a loss. Anyway, so she's like, hey, daughter, guess what, Charlotte? I took 3rd place. So guess what? I failed, and you should learn a lesson from that. God damn it. Can't get my head
dang it.
out of my head.
So Leonie's like, you think you know yourself, but I didn't know. That journey of self-discovery would come through dance. I was like, oh, okay. All right, heavy hand. Yeah, okay. Jesus Christ.
So Leonie and Koista have parted ways. And now, while she searches for a new pro, she's enjoying more time with her perfectly imperfect family.
And then, which, by the way, I don't know why they're imperfect, because they're like literally the perfect family. They were like, so I was like,
her husband and daughter were watching the show. Were like, what the fuck? We're like perfect and amazing.
So Sabrina started focusing on family. She even took her kids to Times Square.
Wow. Isn't she the mom of the year? So we see her and Ronnie in domestic bliss at home, and he's like, you're a star. And she goes, adoy.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And I loved it. Loved the show. If you guys have not watched it, guess what? It's a holiday weekend. You can go binge it all on Peacock. Yeah. You will hear a lot about parents being disappointed in you, but hey, you listen to this show still, so that means you've got a high tolerance for that.
Yeah, I think it deserves a second season. I mean, what I would like to see in a second season is I think what you can do is you can get rid of like some of the far-flung people. Yeah, I think Pooja, Colette, I liked Colette, but I say focus on like the New York ones, like Leonie and Donnie, Gael, bring Lindsay into the fold. So that way, like, we not only are we watching the dancing, but they can all shoot scenes together more frequently, because I think the show really does come alive when they're all together, and when we're watching them sort of like separately on their own, like rehearsing, whatever, it's like, to me, not quite as interesting as when they are all together. And since they're such
Or maybe
a
have them
far-flung
go
cast-
on like dance retreats where they
Yeah.
can practice the dances, and they all have to be in the same place for a few days practicing and being in each other's faces. Or yeah, it has to be something where, and like, you remember that movie Strictly Ballroom, which was like about these competitions. I mean, something like that sounds pretty thrilling, and I'm sure all those people are camera whores, you know. Something with either more people or more chances for them to be together, which I don't know how you do that. I don't really know that world.
I think
but
but I think that they could, because they already
I
have several
agree.
cast members who live near each other, because we talk about Game of Crowns, which is actually very similar, and that show was so good because they would have the competition aspect, but they all were doing things together all the time. So I think it should get a second season with some tweaks, and I think it would really, I think the second season, it could really like go to the next level.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, fun times. Thanks, Bravo. Thanks, all the ladies of Dancing Queens. Thank you, audience. Thank you, America.
Thank you,
Dan.
Dance. Thank you, Cleopatra.
Thank you, Dance.
Thank you, Cleopatra.
Guys, thank Cleopatra. And I'd like to thank our old friend, Rhythm.
Oh, and thank you, Boyko. He designed my look.
Always
today.
Boyko. Yes, always Boyko. Love you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya.
Ruru LaRue.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
We want to hang with Liz Lang.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.